Putting a bridle on is something that we do every day, but it's really important to recognise when your bridle is and isn't fitting correctly, and also what kind of bit you've got in your horse's mouth. So I would always recommend that you start off with a snaffle of some kind. So here you can see we just have a very, very mild loose ring snaffle bit. Now you obviously have a chat with your instructor and see what they think depending on, you know, your individual horse, but you know, if they need a little bit of support or help round corners, you can get one with the full cheeks. But ideally, you know, you don't really want to be riding your horse in, you know, something stronger unless you can help it. So next we're going to have a little look at putting the bridle on. So we would always put the head collar around the horse's neck. This is so we have got a little bit of control if they do run off. I'm obviously going to put the reins over their head. And then to hold the bit with that hand. Use your thumb if you need to, just to open, and there we go. So first things first, we obviously need to make sure that it's not too tight, it's not too loose. So we want the headpiece, which is this bit here, to have enough room in it, enough movement. The brow band, we should be able to have a gap here that we can fit our thumb down, but not too much of a gap so that it's a great big gaping kind of hole, but we don't want this being too tight so the brow band is pulling that forwards. Okay, so the next thing when we're thinking about a cavesson, so we've just got a very simple plain cavesson here. We want this to be between 1 and 2 fingers below the bottom of the cheekbone. We don't want it to be any lower because we definitely don't want it interfering with any of the breathing, you know, the respiratory if we put a flash on there. So we're going to just do the noseband up. And when I do the noseband up, what I would like to be able to do is to fit a couple of fingers in there. So we're not thinking that we want to put, you know, a huge amount, but we definitely just need a couple of fingers. If we want to put a flash onto, to make it into a flash noseband, instead of having the 2 fingers under the noseband, what we want instead is just 1 finger. And this is so that the flash attachment doesn't pull the noseband down. Okay, they still obviously need to be able to breathe, needs to be able to move. So that comes up into the keepers, or you can put it on going down the way. It really depends on the length of your flash. And so then what we want under this bit, again, is just a finger. So we don't want anything too tight, but that is to stop our horse from opening her mouth and hopefully running off with us. When it comes to the throat lash, we want the horse to flex her head, and so I'd like a good 4 fingers in that. We don't want the bit to be so big that it's coming out, but we definitely don't want the bit to pinch. So what we want to see is 1 wrinkle here. So the horse looks like it's smiling, but it's not grinning. If your horse is grinning, it's too much. And we don't want the bit to be swinging out of our horse's mouth at all. So when we pull, we have an effect. And that is how to make sure your bridle fits properly.